Hello, I'm Eva and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am bringing you a holiday reading vlog. Well, I guess I should say Christmas reading vlog because all of these are Christmas themed. I'm actually filming this intro after I've read all the books. My original intro, I was sick, and then the rest of the video, I was not sick, so I wanted to redo it. And also, I'll bring up the point in a minute why I also felt the need to say that. So let's go through the books I'll be reading and then I'll pass you on to me reading these. So I'll be reading Holiday Ever After by Hannah Grace, Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayless, and Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. This one I unpackage in the video as well. That's also why I wanted to say I'm filming this intro after I've read all the books, because I have this book now as I'm filming the intro, but I also unpackage it in the video. So I felt the need to say that, so you're not wondering why I have this copy, and I'm also unpackaging it. Anyways, I'll pass you on to past me now. Okay, I've filmed this part so many times in the last half hour. I just cannot get my words right. Not only that, my dogs were being distracting, then I couldn't get my words right. So I'm here to update Holiday Ever After. I am 61% through to be exact, and I'm going to tell you the premise, and then I'm going to tell you my thoughts. It might be chaotic because this is my 1000th time doing this. And my mouth is dry, so I need to drink. Let's get into the premise. We have Clara and Jack. Clara works at her family's toy company called Davenport, and they're a big toy corporation. And at the start of the book, Clara is assigned to tackle this PR nightmare the company is going through. A woman has gone viral talking about how this one business in her town called Harry's, that's also a toy company, that Davenport ripped off Harry's famous doll, Holly. And Harry's is a small business, so people are more defensive about it because obviously this big corporation stealing from this small business, not that surprising, but still bad. This video that this woman made has gone viral talking about that. Now, Davenport wants Clara to go to the small town of Fraser Falls, which is where Harry's is, and try to smooth things over with them and make a deal and just smooth things over with them. On her first night there, she runs into this guy at the bar named Jack. Now, Jack has lived in the small town of Fraser Falls his whole life, and he and Clara connect immediately. And he tells her all about the town. They just have like a great night, like just talking with each other, drinking together a little bit, and they just have a great night. Only for Clara and him to find out the next day that Clara is from Davenport and Jack is from Harry's and actually owns Harry's. It's a small family business, and he was the one who made the Holly doll. So she at first tries to smooth things over with him, and he's like, absolutely not, like, I don't really want to talk to you, I don't want your help. So she leaves, and when she gets back to New York at Davenport, her dad tells her, if you do this, you're gonna get a promotion, and if you don't do this, you're not getting this big promotion. Even though she already deserves it, he's like holding it above her head. He's like, go there and get them to delete the video. If you get them to delete the video, you get the promotion. So she goes back to Fraser Falls and decides that she's not just going to do what Davenport says and get the video deleted, but she's also going to help the small businesses in Fraser Falls. And while she's in Fraser Falls, she is falling in love with the place and the people, and they're all falling in love with her. More specifically, she's falling in love with Jack, and Jack is falling in love with her. While at first, after they meet again after the bar, like when they find out who each other are, Jack is cold to her for a little while, but slowly starts to warm up to her again and trusts her and believes her that she wasn't the one who screwed him over and stole his design, that she is truly there to help, not screw him over again. And I am really liking this. I think it's cute. I like the storyline, and while it mentions social media quite a bit in the beginning, I actually didn't mind because, I mean, I kind of went in knowing that some type of social media would have to go into it because of the viral video, but I don't really mind it because while they talked more about social media in the beginning, and I like the characters and I like them together, I thought they had cute banter. I feel like I say banter a lot, okay, when I'm reviewing romance books, but I thought their banter was cute, okay? And they're quick and witty, and they just go back and forth. I think they're adorable. And if you don't know, Hannah Grace is the one who wrote the Icebreaker series. And while it has taken me a while to read what I've read so far because it has been the week of Thanksgiving, and then my mom also had like a stomach virus, it's just been a crazy week, so it's taken me so long to get through this part. I feel like now, since it's the weekend after Thanksgiving, I should fly through the rest of this. But I'm really enjoying it. I like the characters. I like them together. I think their banter is really cute. And they're like teasing and joking. I love that in a book when like the characters can like tease each other and joke with each other. And it's not like, I don't know. I just think it's so cute. I really like the side characters, or specifically the characters from Fraser Falls are the ones I specifically like. And I just want to add, they have that perfect small town vibe where they're just in everybody's business. And I love that. At the point I'm at right now, I'm on page 224 out of 364. It's starting to get like a little boring right now. I'm still having a good time, but I feel like it's just dragging a little in the middle, just a little bit. I just don't know how much is going to happen in 140 pages. Like, I feel like we could wrap it up in like 80. But we'll see. I could be eating my words. We'll see. Anyways, I'm enjoying this. I'm liking it. It's sitting around a 4-star at the moment. And I hope all that explanation made sense. I was forgetting what I was saying because, like I said, this was like the 5th time I started filming this. You know, I could have left something out because I said it earlier and thought I said it in this round. Hopefully not. Anyways, I will talk to you later. It's actually a week after I finished this, but I never gave a review, so here I am. I originally gave this 4 stars, but I then changed it to a 4.5, comparing it to other books I've read this year. I was like, no, that's a 4.5, not a 4. So I really liked this book. I know I said 4, like in my update, like I thought I was gonna give it a 4. I loved all the Christmassy aspects in this book. I feel like there's so many Christmas books that are like, oh, it's just set around Christmas time, but it doesn't actually like give that much Christmas content. But this one I feel like really had a lot of Christmassy factors to it, and I loved that. Like, they had a Santa run, they had like just all these different events that I thought was really cute. If you want like a super Christmassy book, I definitely recommend this one because I feel like it had so many Christmas activities and aspects. They were watching Christmas movies, drinking hot chocolate. Not that that's that Christmassy, but like, okay, I'm saying it's super Christmassy and there was all these activities, but it also just gave you like the feeling of Christmas. The way it was written really set the scene well of giving you those Christmassy feelings. They had the Santa run, they built a snowman, like it was just so hitting in the Christmassy vibes, and I liked the romance a lot as well. There was a 3rd act breakup, and I knew it was coming because it totally made sense, and it wasn't surprising or stupid because you could kind of feel it coming the whole time because they had this one big thing sitting between them, her working for Davenport, him being the creator of the Holly doll. At one point, like, you knew it was gonna burst, and they end up resolving it, obviously, because it's a cutesy little romance book. But the only thing that's holding this back from being a 5 is just that it dragged in the middle a bit. Otherwise, I did really like it. So yeah, that's this book done. At this point, I've already read Meet Me Under the Mistletoe, but you will only just be seeing it now. So now I'm going to show you the clips of me reading that. Hello. Hello, I am here to give a halfway update. Wait, I have to go grab it. I have tried to film this update multiple times and have just been terrible at explaining what this book is about. I'm just over halfway through, no, just under halfway through Meet Me Under the Mistletoe by Jenny Bayliss. Okay, since I'm terrible at explaining this book's premise, I'm going to read the back and then add my own spin to it. So, Eleanor Noel, Nori for short, is quite content running her second-hand bookshop in London. Forever torn between her working-class upbringing and her classmates' extravagant lifestyle at the posh private school she attended on scholarship, Nori has finally figured out how to keep both at equal distance. So when two of her oldest friends invite their whole gang to spend the time leading up to their wedding together at the castle near their own school, Nori must prepare herself for an emotionally complicated few days. The reunion brings back fond memories, but also requires Nori to dodge an ill-advised former flame. When she falls quite literally into the arms of Isaac, the castle's head gardener, who has nothing but contempt for the snobby prep school kids, the attraction between them is undeniable, and as Nori spends more time with Isaac during the wedding festivities, she finds herself falling hard for the boy she used to consider an enemy. Nori and Isaac explore their common ground, but pressures mount on all sides, and Nori must decide what kind of life she wants to live and what sort of love is worth the risk. So, as I read, we are reading from Nori's point of view, and she is nervous to go back to their own sort of reunion with her friend group, because the last time they were all together was sadly when the one friend in the group passed away, Tristan. The last time they were all together was for his funeral, and at said funeral, Nori made a bad decision by hooking up with one of the guys in the friend group. Now you might be like, why is that such a bad decision? That is because she unknowingly slept with him when he is married with kids, which I have a comment here real quick. Okay, they were all really good friends in high school, okay? They talk every now and then, but they don't hang out all together that often, okay? Okay, I get Nori might have not heard it from Guy, which is his name, by the way. I get how she might not have heard it from him, that he got married and had kids. First of all, this is still in the age of social media, so I'm shocked she wouldn't have seen it there. Secondly, if I saw one of my good friends was getting married and having kids, I know me and my people would be talking about it to each other. Now, she's still good friends with some of the other people in the group and talks to them either frequently or semi-frequently, and that just shocks me because I feel like if I found that out about someone I was close to, I was like, oh my god, did you hear blah 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 got married? Did you hear blah 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 is had a kid? Like, I'm shocked she did not know that. By the way, I'm not blaming her. I'm just shocked that nobody got it back to her. Like, are you really that good of friends? They didn't get back to you that he's married and has kids. Like, that just, like, I don't know why. That, like, really got me. Again, I'm not blaming her for not knowing, because, like, I mean, she didn't know. How did nobody ever end up telling her? How did she not hear about this? Like, okay, maybe married. Like, maybe he got eloped. And she didn't know because, like, she wasn't there. Also, weird that if they were close in high school and they were still close, kind of, that she wouldn't have gotten invited to the wedding. Like I said, let's give the benefit of the doubt. Let's say they got eloped. But they also have kids and she didn't know? I just feel like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense to me. Whatever. So that happened and awkward, and she felt terrible, but she didn't tell his wife. I mean, she hadn't met his wife at the time, but she still couldn't find her on Facebook or something and reach out, whatever. And none of their friends told his wife either. So now they're all together again, and she's going to have to face him. When they're all getting together at the castle before the one friend's wedding, Jenna and Charles, they are at the castle, okay, and they're staying there. And not only is it all the people from the friend group, but Guy and his wife are staying there, and then one who she's the closest with still, Amira, and Amira's boyfriend. So Guy's wife is literally there, and they're all hanging out with her, and they all know he has slept with Nori. Like, I get it, they're his friends, and I don't know what I'd do in this situation, okay? I don't know, but I am judging a little bit. Because I feel like that's, like, I guess that's just crazy to me. I don't know. And that she's, like, literally suspicious of him, and they're like, I don't know. That storyline's got me obviously a little bit opinionated. Anyways, to our relationship, we have Nori, who I just spoke about. Besides that situation, I like Nori. She's cool. She's fine. I like her. Then we have Isaac, who is working class like Nori, okay? But like I said, Nori got a scholarship and went to the boarding school with her friends. So they're all kind of snobby and they're posh. And he has like a prejudice against them because they're rich and a little bit snobby. Not like overly rude and snobby, but like just like unknowingly snobby, kind of, is the vibe I'm getting so far. So Isaac went to public school with Nori's older brother, who went to public school while she went to boarding school because she has that scholarship, remember that. So Isaac was a little bit older than her, and his father was the head gardener at that castle that was right near their old school. So the castle that they're staying at now is that castle that's right near their school. They kind of had a little tiff of manure throwing, which is gross, but that happened apparently once. And they would sneak onto the property sometimes, not really like to do anything, just to like trespass for fun. So even though they had that little tiff, her friend group with him, she still had a huge crush on him, and he would hang out with her brother, and anytime he'd come over, she'd be like, oh my god, it's Isaac. So another part in the story is that once they meet up again, when she is trying to get away from a conversation with Guy, she runs into Isaac. They get to talking, and throughout her week staying there, they keep connecting more and more, and they talk like every day. They clearly have a connection and like a spark, but Isaac keeps pulling back, and she's like, why are you holding back? I like you, I feel like you like me, like I'm getting confused. And he's like, I do like you, but your brother told me to stay away from you. And she's like, this bitch, ruining this relationship for me. While they have this connection and the spark, he still doesn't really like her friends, and he's like kind of rude about it too. I'm not gonna lie, like she like snaps at him a couple times, and like I kind of get it, like that's her friends, those are her homies. Which kind of pissed me off at times, because it's like, if you really like her, get over it. Sorry, but like, get over it if you like her that much. I like her, besides the cheating thing, which again, she didn't know. I'm not blaming her for that, okay? Don't get me wrong. I'm saying then talking with the wife while they're staying there and being like, oh my god, she's so nice. But I'm not gonna tell her. But at the same time, I do get it for her, because everybody there is being like, don't tell her, you're gonna mess up the weekend. Do you get that? So kind of more on the friends than her. And then Isaac is fine. No, he's more than fine. I like him. I just feel like sometimes he's a bit rude about her friends. Still thinking of them in the past, even though I think they've grown. And he hangs out like with the friend group some, and they're all like, for the most part, nice to him. They have made a couple comments where they're not even realizing like, oh, I'm being rude. Like, so he does have some rude moments, and he keeps holding back. I'm like, who cares about the brother, okay? I know you're friends with him, but who cares about him? He doesn't have to know. Also, like, they're all in their 30s. They're all adults. The brother needs to get over it. He's an adult. He's married. He has kids. Get over it. If he wants to date your sister, get over it. I like him, but he needs to be a little less grudge holdery. So it's cute. It's not very Christmassy from the cover and the title. I thought it was going to be like extremely Christmassy. Maybe that'll come more at the end. The only thing that was kind of like Christmassy, wintry, it snowed, and they went out in the snow and did something that was a tradition. I don't want to say exactly what it is. And that was like the only thing that was like wintry Christmassy. Otherwise, not really wintry Christmassy, besides the fact that it is around Christmas time, I guess. I'm liking it more than I thought I was going to like it. I thought it was going to be extremely cheesy. Plus, I saw the Goodreads rating was like a 3.5, 3.49. But at the same time, I had read another book by this author that was Christmassy. It was called The 12 Dates of Christmas. I read it a couple years ago, and I really liked that book. I think I gave it like a 4.5. This also has like a 3.55, I think is what it was when I looked. And I was like, oh, well, I really liked that one. And the overall rating is a 3.55. I shouldn't judge this one. Anyways, I'll see you later for when I finally finish this. I'll see you later for when I finally finish this. This part's making me sad. I'm on page 343, and to be honest, I completely forgot she had a cat. Okay, hi, this is like the same setting as when I gave my official review for Holiday Ever After. Like I said, I had read that and I never gave my review, and then I filmed the stuff for this, and now I'm here to give my review for this because I finished this as well. I'm gonna start. I think I'm giving this a 3.75. I did like it, and I thought it was cute. Both of the characters kind of annoyed me a little bit at times. I feel like more so in the second half than the first half. And the side characters were kind of like you kind of loved them, but you also kind of didn't love them. It was kind of conflicting because they were kind of like snobby. I at least liked most of them except the one guy named Guy. I didn't like him. Even though he had a little bit of a redemption at the end, I still am just not that big of a fan of him. And otherwise, I didn't really care that much about the rest of the friend group, besides the one girl, Amira, who's Nori's best friend. And I did like the way that it represented mental health at times, and also how specifically men will like bury their feelings and not talk about it and then kind of like struggle with that. I did like that. Also, as I believe I said, I don't 100% remember if I did say this or not, that the one friend died and he had itself. I did like the representation of like the mental health in that, and like almost made me tear up at the one moment when they mentioned him as like he was missing. I was originally sitting more around a 4, but the third act breakup, it technically they weren't broken up that long, because I think for like most of December or part of December in the book they were broken up, so technically the timeline actually wasn't that long, but it felt like forever reading it. It was like really dragging through her just going through it. I did think it was cute. I didn't think it was very Christmassy until like the end. Like I was expecting this to be super Christmassy, and the Christmassiness of it didn't really hit till the end. But yeah, I did enjoy this and I would recommend it. Just that there are times that they annoyed me just a little bit. I feel like I just said like most of the bad things. I did like it. I gave it a 3.75. Anyways, I am now very excited to read Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. You'll see next. I just got this and I took a video of me unpackaging it, so you'll see that. But I think these editions are so pretty. Like I actually like the spray painted edges on this. I know sometimes kind of like I'm not always the biggest fan of the spray painted edges on paperbacks, but I think this one is done really nice. It doesn't look like it bled through at all. I had this one. It was If We Were Perfect by Anna Huang, and it was like bled through all on the pages. And not only that, like it was just pink, like it wasn't anything special, but it had bled through all onto the pages. And I was like, oh, I'm really excited to get to this. I just have a good feeling about it. We'll see if that's true, but I'm very excited to get to this. But first, you're gonna see me unpackaging it. I got it off Pengo Books, and the person who packaged this and sent it put so many cute things with it. You'll see. I'm 40% through, not halfway through, but I want to give an update now because I also have some theories and some other things I want to share. Okay, let me tell you a bit of the premise. So if you know the story of Scrooge and the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, that's kind of the basis for this. So Nolan is the ghost of Christmas past. He has been doing this for a few years, and every December for however long it takes him, he is somebody's ghost of Christmas past, and it's always obviously somebody who is bad and does crappy things. But this year it's kind of different because he shows up to Harriet's house, and he is now going to be following her. But right when he meets her, first of all, she seems different from all the other people that he has done all the haunting or whatever it's called for. She is very bubbly and doesn't seem like a person who's done bad things. And as they go back to her past, he's still very confused, as is Harriet, because she's like, obviously I'm a human, I've made mistakes, but I don't think I've made any big mistakes to get the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future to come for me. Like, she's really confused, and he's confused as they keep going back to her past. All the things they're showing in her past are random things she's done, and none of them prove that she's done anything bad. They're just random things that have happened previous Christmases. And Nolan's been doing this for well over 100 years, and he's getting burnt out in this life being a ghost. Well, I say life, but in the afterlife of being a ghost, because when he died, he didn't really get to choose to become the ghost of Christmas past. He kind of just got it thrown on him. So normally he takes about a week at the maximum to get through a person and then pass them on to Christmas present. That's all he does, and then he just chills. He got a house like that. I guess he doesn't own it. I don't really know exactly how that works, but he has a house he can stay in, and he just stays there the rest of the year reading and just chilling. So he's been in a bit of a rut. While you'd think him as the ghost of Christmas past would be helping people who are in a bad place, grumpy, and just crappy people, you'd think that when he shows up there, that would be like Harriet. But as I said, she's very bubbly and very sweet, and always wants to help, and so again, he's confused. Harriet comes up with a theory that maybe he was sent there to help him as he's actually like grumpy. And again, he's the ghost of Christmas past. He's supposed to be helping grumpy people, not be a grumpy person. And at first he's very mad about that and he like hurts her feelings about it. And clearly he's the grumpy one. She's like the very sunshine one. And I also thought this, like right when they started like going to all her past things, they were all these like happy, sweet moments where she didn't really do anything. So I also kind of thought that because he would be kind of rude and like grumpy sometimes towards her and just in general. So I kind of thought that as well. There's this movie, it's a Hallmark movie, and it's called The Ghost of Christmas Always. And it kind of gives me a similar vibe, not the same vibe, where the girl in the movie is the ghost. She's the ghost of Christmas Present, and her one task, she has the other two with her throughout the movie, and they get tasked to Scrooge, that's what they call it, Scrooging, the one guy. He's like on the younger side, and as they're going through, they're like confused and like kind of trying to figure out why they got sent to Scrooge him. And one, they realize they're Scrooging the wrong guy, and two, the main girl who's Ghost of Christmas Present ends up falling in love with him, and she gets like a new opportunity to have love. They're like, well, maybe this all happened on purpose. Maybe it was meant to happen so you can go be with him. And she was like, but I'm a ghost. I'm dead. Like, how's this gonna work? So she gets this opportunity to come back to life, to be in love with him basically, and to live a real life with him. So I think that movie is super cute. And if you like this book, I feel like you'll like that movie. Again, it's a Hallmark movie. I know some people don't like Hallmark movies, but that one's really cute. And it kind of reminded me of this. And I was kind of thinking the same thing, like he's worked for all these years. And I was thinking like maybe because he's worked for all these years and he was quite young when he died, maybe like that movie, he'll get to come back and get to live life with Harriet. And so not only do I think they're trying to, oh, and as I was saying, he, as a ghost, he doesn't really taste anything. He still like eats and all. Like he's not like apparition or anything. Like he's not like you put your arm through him and it like goes through him. Like he's still like solid. As a ghost, he didn't taste anything. He could still eat. Like I said, he's not like, you can't like put your arm through him. Like he's solid. And he can't taste anything or feel anything. And all of a sudden, now that he's working on Harriet's case, I guess I'll say, he's starting to taste more, he's starting to feel more. Again, I think that could be a part of like bringing him back to life, and maybe they're soulmates and this whole thing put them together for him to get this whole system instead of her. I am really liking it. I like both of them. Obviously he can be rude and grumpy at times, but that's kind of the point because they're supposed to be helping him. And I really like her. She is so sweet, and she also kind of reminds me of me in some ways. First of all, we both love sweets. I'm actually not the biggest candy person. I like desserts, but she loves sweets and I love sweets. So, and like can kind of get like our feelings hurt a little bit and like kind of feel lonely at times and want to be helpful, but then not being the right kind of helpful. I kind of relate to her and I really like her, and I like him as well. Again, he's a bit grumpy and rude at times, but I still really like him, and like I said, that's kind of the whole point. There's also this one part where he's like being rude to her and like I can feel feeling in my chest, and even though I don't like it in real life when I feel that, when I'm reading a book and I get that feeling in my chest, it's kind of heartbreaking, but not actually, like kind of like, oh, I'm getting my feelings hurt hearing this. I don't know why I like that. I feel like that's really weird, but I just like that for some reason. And yeah, I'm really liking this book. I definitely recommend, at least so far. And I'm 160 pages in out of I think 370. Yeah, I can't wait to keep reading. I really want to know if my theory's right, that it's going to be more based on him, which we already kind of know at this point, that at least that theory is partially right. I had that theory before it happened though. Okay, I know I said I'm on 160, and if you read the book, you know certain things have happened already. Okay, I had that theory beforehand because I remembered the other movie that I watched. Okay, it's really good. It's giving like 5 stars right now. Sorry, I have teeth whitening strips on. So he thinks that under this he'll find peace. Like go to like, I don't know, heaven or something? I don't know what he thinks, but he thinks he's gonna like find peace after this. I think his peace is gonna be her and romance and getting to come back to life. Because there's no way he's not gonna get to come back to life, because they're gonna end up together. Because it's romance. And I feel like there's no way they'd kill her to make her a ghost and then they live in the afterlife. So I definitely am feeling what I said before. I forgot to explain before. So why I said I think it's because she's like bubbly and there to like save him from himself and they're gonna fall in love. And I think that's the intention of what was happening. She owns an antique shop, so she thinks it's because one of the antiques is connected to him and that's why he got sent to her, so then he could find peace. But I definitely think my theory is right, not hers. Sorry, Harriet. I'm only an extra page or two in since I literally just spoke. Okay, so maybe Harriet isn't wrong with the antique thing, but I don't think that it's fully right, her theory, okay? And I think it's the bird cage music box that she keeps mentioning, because like why would she keep mentioning it? Like why would it keep getting mentioned if it didn't have some more significance? So that's also added to my theory. I just read where they first kissed and it was so cute, and like the lead up to it was really sweet and cute, and it was also steamy. I kind of hate saying that, but okay. The reason for it, like she thought he was doing it out of pity, and wait, let me read the part. Shows he said, I almost laughed pity kiss. And then he said, I kissed her because I wanted to, because I couldn't keep standing in front of her and not do it. Where he also says this, I kissed you because I wanted to, Harriet, and I'll kiss you again if you want that. But no, there won't be anything pitying or required about this. I've existed for decades. I don't do things I don't want to do. Oh my god, he just dropped the bomb on her that after Christmas Eve, she won't remember him. It'll all just be a blur. Do we think it'll even get to that point? Or do we think it'll get to that point and she'll start to forget him, but then like they'll kiss and she'll remember? Or will they have to start over again? I really hope it's not that one, because I kind of hate when that happens in books where they forget and they have to start over instead of just they forget and then their memories come back magically. I'm here to say I finished Good Spirits. I finished it like 2 days ago and I'm just now giving this update, but I'm definitely giving this 5 stars. I ended up loving it so much, especially because it reminded me of that Hallmark movie I talked about before. I loved her. I related to her a lot. Like she's very sweet and doesn't want to like stir the pot and wants to like please everyone, and I relate to that a lot. And we're both the youngest sibling and I feel like it comes off for both of us. And I also did really like him. I just loved her, and I did really like him as well. Like I said, he was kind of like grumpy and could be rude in the beginning, but like I said before, that was like kind of the point for him to be a little bit rude. And like genuinely, like they were soulmates, and like it was literally said. And I really liked the ending, and there was no third act breakup, which I very much appreciated. There was like a separation, but there was no breakup, and I loved it so much. And I loved the way it was reconciled. Like I thought it was like so well done. Again, it did kind of remind me of that Hallmark movie, and that's like one of my favorite Christmas Hallmark movies too, so this reminded me of that. I liked this better than that movie, but it was so good. I definitely recommend. Out of the 3 books I've read in this video, obviously this one was my favorite. Then Holiday Ever After, I gave a 4.5, and then Meet Me Under the Mistletoe. I know I originally said a 3.75, but I've changed it to a 3.5. I know that's not that big of a difference. but I thought I would say it anyway. Anyways, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't already, subscribe and like the video. And comment down below your favorite Christmas book that you've read this season. And I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!